Welcome to this Actus Insight, all about career pathways. So what is a career pathway? Well, it's a way of signposting what and how people can progress through an organisation. It's suitable from people who are entering an organisation through to advanced levels, and it should define the skills and experience required to meet each level. It's particularly powerful if you manage to map it to aligned development and growth actions. But unlike a talent management matrix or a 9-box grid, career pathways can be adapted for both large and small businesses, making it a really powerful retention tool. Here you can see an example of a leadership career pathway. You can read more about these in the book The Leadership Pipeline. So this image shows the journey from being an individual contributor right up to being a senior manager of director. Of course, many businesses nowadays are flatter than this, so not all levels exist in each business, but it does clearly illustrate the different skills that need to be acquired as people climb the leadership ladder. Now, it's interesting here because it's just as important to learn to let go of activities and behaviours as it is to acquire new ones. This can be particularly challenging when transitioning at first from an individual contributor to team leader, as these roles are very different. For example, sometimes people start micromanaging, trying to do the job below them, or they don't feel able to delegate because they want to do it themselves. Those are examples of the behaviours of a leader who's not acting at the right level within the pipeline. The problem with this is it causes blockages and confusion for those lower down the pipeline. So it's important for people to understand how to grow through this journey and let go of key skills and they take on new ones. Of course, if you can align this to development, that's going to make it much easier. So this is an example where an organisation has been able to put training in place. So somebody who maybe is an aspiring manager, they might go through preparatory training. Then once they become a team leader, they come through some specific people management training. As they take the leap up to a cost centre manager, so that next level up, if it exists, then they might have more specific training, making them more commercially aware, able to look around the organisation. And then finally, as they get towards the top of the ladder, then the training needs to be more personalised, aligned to their individual development areas. So things like 360-degree feedback, executive coaching, those are really useful here. But also teaching them to give back to the rest of the organisation, for example, being a mentor, that can actually be incredibly developmental as well. However, not everybody is cut out to be a leader, and many organisations are concerned that specialists, whether they are engineers, scientists, project managers, or even salespeople, they don't fit the leadership pipeline. And there are not enough leadership roles for specialists to progress up the ladder, which can be demotivating. So creating a specialist career pathway like this can be a really useful way of motivating and demonstrating progression in skills, benefits and status without forcing people into leadership roles. So in summary, what to consider if you're designing a career pathway? Think first, what is the purpose? Retention of key staff or reward? How many pathways can you actually manage? What's your capacity? And should you prioritise leadership or specialists? Is the pathway emphasising promotion, development, or both? And then in terms of entering a pathway, what are the entry criteria? Is it for someone who's demonstrated that they're a high performer, or have they got specific competence or behaviours that you want to see? Not only that, do they have to be nominated to rise up the career pathway, or is this something that they can self-select into it? These are relevant from a point of view of motivation. Have you got the resource or time to provide aligned development? My overall advice is have a think of those questions, but don't let it put you off. But start small and build gradually. The most important thing is to be consistent. Career pathways are a powerful tool for development and retention. Feel free to adapt the approach above to meet the specific needs of your business. For more Actus insights or support in building your own career pathway, feel free to reach out to us at Actus.